The Oklahoma sun beat down. It wasn't the sun Joad remembered.
This sun was angry. It baked the earth until it cracked.
Dust devils danced like demons. They whispered in the wind. The whispers spoke of a hunger.
This was no ordinary drought. Something evil had taken root in the heartland.
The Joads, like other families, were driven out. Their farm swallowed by dust, their dreams turned to ash. They packed their meager belongings, headed west towards a promised land. Little did they know they were walking into a nightmare. The very dust they carried held a curse. It seeped into their souls, twisted their hopes into something dark. The journey began with hope, a hope that withered with each passing mile. The trucks rattled with more than just the broken road. There was a fear, a creeping dread that settled over them. The faces of their fellow travelers were gaunt, eyes hollowed by hunger. But there was something else in those eyes, a spark of something wicked.
The sun dipped below the horizon. It bled out a sickly yellow light. The dust took on a life of its own. It swirled and pulsed with each gust of wind. The whispers grew louder.
They formed words. Turn back. Doom awaits. Yours. Mine. The Joads pressed on. They had no choice. The devil they knew was better than the one they didn't. For now. The dust was alive. It choked the life out of everything. Animals died. Crops withered. People coughed and sputtered, their lungs coated with the gritty powder. But the dust did more than suffocate. It possessed, it whispered to the darkest parts of a man's soul. It amplified their fears, turned their desperation to rage.
The Joads saw it happen. Men who were once kind and gentle became cruel. They fought over scraps of food, over a few drops of water. They turned on each other with a ferocity born of madness. The dust had driven them insane. The land itself was turning against them, punishing them for their greed.
The wind carried stories, whispers of farms swallowed whole by dust storms, of families disappearing in the night, of strange lights dancing in the distance, evil omens. The stories were dismissed as tall tales fueled by fear and exhaustion. But the Joads felt the truth in their bones. Something was terribly wrong.
Each night, the dust storms grew worse. They raged with the fury of a demon denied its due. The wind howled like a banshee. Lightning split the sky. It illuminated the monstrous shapes in the dust clouds. Faces twisted in eternal agony. Hands reaching out for salvation. The dust was a canvas for the devil's nightmares.
Route 66, the Mother Road. For the Joads, it became a road to hell. Each mile was marked by suffering. They saw families huddled by the roadside, their eyes empty and defeated. They saw men driven mad by hunger. They saw children with distended bellies and dust-caked lips. The closer they got to California, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. The air itself seemed to crackle with malevolence. The sun beat down relentlessly. It baked the land until it cracked and bled. The dust storms became more frequent, more violent. They were like the wrath of God unleashed upon the earth.
One night, caught in a particularly ferocious storm, the Joad's truck broke down. They huddled together, trying to shield themselves from the biting wind and the stinging dust. Shadows moved in the swirling dust. Whispers slithered into their ears. The whispers promised power, offered vengeance. All they had to do was embrace the darkness.
As the storm raged on, the Joads felt a presence among them. Something cold and hungry. It watched them with unseen eyes. It fed on their fear. When the storm finally broke, they found a single black feather clutched in the hand of baby Ruth, a chilling reminder that they were not alone. They were being watched, hunted. Tom Joad. He had always been a protector, but the road had changed him. The dust had seeped into his soul, planted a seed of something dark. He was still drawn to protect the weak, but his anger burned with an unnatural intensity. His methods became more brutal. There was a darkness in his eyes now, a flicker of something primal. He had killed before, taken a life in the heat of the moment, but this was different. This was cold, calculated, necessary. He saw the faces of those who preyed on the weak, heard the whispers of the dust urging him on. He felt no remorse. The people looked to Tom for leadership.
But Joad saw the change. The way his smile didn't quite reach his eyes. the way his hands twitched with a barely suppressed rage. She knew the dust was working its magic on him, twisting him into something she no longer recognized.
Tom's strength was more than just muscle now. He seemed to draw power from the dust itself. He could feel the land's pain, the land's rage, and he would be the instrument of its revenge. He was becoming something more than human, something terrifying.